I'm very suspect about this attempted coup on Putin in the Russian Federation. Tell me I'm wrong. What happened there?
Well, John, I've just learned I don't take anything off the table. Who knows what exactly went on here? I am concerned too. Maybe it was a real coup. Wagner did have a bunch of their people killed by the regular Russian army, so I have no doubt that Prigozhin was hopping mad, upset. This was a life or death. But at the same time, just this orchestrated quick settlement. He goes to Ukraine. Now, I think it was the Gateway Pundit and Kim.com, I think it was, that reported that this was, he actually swindled the CIA out of $6 billion in this whole setup. I don't, I know some people saying, oh, come on, that's not true. False flag, no, blah, 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 blah. I don't take anything off the table. And that 6 billion is awfully close to that. That sounds like almost that same amount that the DoD suddenly found in their accounts. Now, I've done a lot of these transactions of excess defense articles. It's a lot of times the financial data is wildly inaccurate. There's lag time. It's just plain wrong. And so if there was possibly an agreement between Office of Management and Budget, DoD Comptroller, and the HIPSI and SISI, really specifically the Gang of Eight, they could have done an accounting agreement where that 6 billion, so we don't have to appropriate $6 billion more, gets appropriated over, gets shifted over to the intel community, because that's 6 billion is about 8% of their annual budget, because they by law announce at the end of the year. So I don't know. I wouldn't doubt that either. So maybe Prigozhin and the Russians and the Chinese tricked the Biden team. But so I think we need to investigate this. The Gang of Eight needs to come clean on this, because that 6 billion, they would have had to have been informed on this. They need to come clean on this. And I just, Biden twice recently has essentially teased what we would call top secret SCI information. First, that we knew what Xi was thinking during the balloon debacle of February. Really? Well, how did we know what Xi was thinking? That's revealing sources and methods. That is a leak of classified information. And then most recently, oh, yes, there was this tease. Yeah, we knew the Wagner Group was going to do this already. Again, how did they know that? They're revealing sources and methods. That's a leak of classified information. And they're using it manipulatively to manipulate the American public, manipulate the situation. This is far worse than a president who, by law, is allowed to have documents from, regardless of classification, from their tenure. So this is just this whole thing. Nothing's off the table with this.
It doesn't feel right. I don't think to people that follow this stuff, John, and I'll tell you why. First, Putin calls it treason. Then they turn around and they give him amnesty like in the next 12 hours, and he goes back to the Ukraine. And I know people died in it, so we have to take that into account that it was somewhat real. But the problem we've got now, Colonel, is I don't believe any of what is coming out of the state-run media, and that's what I'm calling it now. Forget fake news, forget mainstream media. This is state-run media. I don't trust anything, Colonel, coming out of the state-run media that has to do with this war. They keep telling us the Ukrainians are winning. The facts we get back from whistleblowers and others are that the war of attrition is now 10 Ukrainians to one Russian soldier. That's winning. The spring offensive has failed miserably. So where are they going with this, John?
Well, right now, I think it's inconclusive on the battlefield. I think I don't know. I think the Russians are not doing that well. I don't think the Ukrainians are doing that well. I think it is kind of pivoted toward a war of attrition. But if there was any swindling of U.S. funds in this, we've got to start impeachment proceedings on top of other impeachment proceedings. So I prefer right now. Just the reality is we don't know. We don't have good ground truth on the really how it's going in the Ukraine. Now again, Prigozhin, longtime bad blood between him and Shoigu and the defense minister. So he's the defense minister and the senior general. So he had bad blood between the both of them. I would not be surprised to see them removed and replaced. And this all started supposedly when Wagner was asked to sign an agreement to come fall under the Russian armed forces. So but now that's all. So there was a lot of bad blood, and the Russians have been incompetent in their leadership in many ways, very incompetent. So I believe some of this anger was real, but we gotta But then all of a sudden, whoop, the whole mutiny and the march on Moscow is suddenly over. He's in Belarus, and now he's supposedly going to be signing this agreement. So I don't take anything off the table at this point in time. Just too many unknowns, too many manipulations by, like you said, our own state-run media. And we got lots of this talking on background. I was in the White House one time with John Brennan walking down the hall in the EEOB when he says, "I got to step in here and talk on background and tell our story to a bunch of reporters." This was during the early Obama years. But this is a game that, according to a senior government official, this is a game in the swamp that's done all the time. So I'm very suspect of any of these things that are put out by all the other media. I try to go across all the media, get all what everybody is saying, and then try to make sense out of it, because so many of the media are not really in the media game. They're essentially controlled opposition or state-run media.